What made you focus on this woman, Mary Surratt?
I guess it was a series of frames in my head that was an ongoing topic. John Wilkes Booth. But adjacent to that is this other story that no one knows about a trial. And the fact that this woman who ran a boarding house was tried and put to death in a military tribunal, which should have been a civic trial, is the second frame. So the trial itself and the matter of justice and the law and the Constitution, that's the second frame inside the bigger one.
Every witness I wish to call has either been turned by a jail or the threat of it. That's enough. There is no limit to how far the prosecution is willing to go.
The film premieres this week as debate rages over the decision to try September 11th conspirators in military tribunals instead of civilian courts.
I'm a little wary about talking about the parallels because it could look like they were invented by me. They weren't. They're a matter of historical record. But the parallels, which have been capped this week by Eric Holder, and you could tell he wasn't happy about the decision to move to a military tribunal, which should, in a lot of people's opinion, a civic trial.
Members of Congress have intervened and imposed restrictions blocking the administration from bringing any Guantanamo detainees to trial in the United States.
The Constitution is always kind of at stake, and messing around with the Constitution has been going on ever since this time of Lincoln.
And in the classic Washington drama, All the President's Men, again it was the story behind the story that attracted Redford.
I was just kind of wondering why your name and phone number were in the address books of two of the men arrested at Watergate.
Good God.
It was about the journalists and about holding power to account.
That's right, that's right.
How much can you tell me about Deep Throat? How much do you need to know?
Do you think the journalists hold the powerful to account enough today?
I don't know. I think the system has changed so drastically because of the Internet. That film was made at a high point in journalistic history, and I was proud of that. I felt honored to be able to depict a time when journalism was at its highest.
Run that, baby.
And it had ethics that had to adhere to.
What did you admire about Woodward and Bernstein, who you shadowed for a long time and you played Woodward?
So I'm not looking for a fight. I'm not looking for a fight either. I'm just aware of the fact that you've only been here 9 months. What does that got to do with it? Well, I've been in the business since I'm 16.
What attracted me there was, here were two guys. One guy is a Jew, the other guy's a WASP. One guy is Republican, the other guy's a radical liberal. They don't get along very well. One guy is claimed to be a better writer than the other one. They don't particularly like each other, but they have to work together. And that got me. I said, that chemistry, that alchemy really fascinates me. What was it like? What was it like to do what they did that no one was watching?
From this great state of California, Bill McKay!
You made the candidate about a sort of Bobby Kennedy-esque candidate.
I felt that the political system was producing candidates that were more by cosmetic rather than substance.
Oh, tie. Point. It's changed ties. Why?
Afterwards, Ethel Kennedy, his widow, told you that she didn't like it.
Right.
Keep your fingers interlaced.
What's that?
You got that?
When I rented Ethel Kennedy, she said, well, I was not a fan of your film. And I said, well, that's okay. She said, because, you seem to have a dim view of politics. I said, well, it's not bright. Let's put it that way. She said, well, it is the highest calling.
Do you still have a dim view of politics?
It's so dim it's almost black. It's pretty grim right now. I mean, I'm so depressed to think that this country, with all of its potential, could reduce itself to games being played with what feels like the dialogue is being done with Stone Age tools. I mean, it's really depressing to think that instead of an exchange of ideas between two different ways of thinking, you've just got a war zone. I just find it depressing.